Hi guys, I'm Shmi and we're back down in the south of France, just above Monaco, and obviously back here with the Ferrari. It's been a while since I drove it, a couple of weeks it's been in storage, but the reason for this video is a little bit of an update because now the time down here has come to an end. In about half an hour from now, I'm going to be setting off in the FF to drive back all the way towards England, well tonight up towards Paris, and then tomorrow back home. It's been about 2.5 months now with the Ferrari over here in France, which is pretty crazy. I only owned the car for about 5 days before that in England, but it's time to get it home. It's been away far too long. I'm actually going to be back on another trip, just a short trip, just after Christmas, after the new year. A little bit of an adventure with some Pirelli Sotto Zero winter tyres on the car, so I'm rather looking forward to that. Heading down to the Alps, a quest to find some snow. Let's see what I can find. I've obviously got to be quite careful with the car, but that's going to be a cool bit of content coming up. So it's the end of the time away for the FF and basically the end of my sort of period where I've been flying everywhere and coming in and out of Monaco, making this sort of a base, but I've absolutely loved my time down here with Seb, whose Twizy is just over there. It's been brilliant. Everybody, all the guys being down here, Paul, Sam, we had some amazing times. And obviously at one point, lined up here, I had all 3 of my cars, which was just absolutely amazing. So much fun. But it is the end of the time here for the FF. It's time to take it home. It's actually absolutely filthy right now, although I think in the evening light you can't really see that, and it looks quite nice. I do love the colour of this car. I mean, well, I've said it before, I basically bought it because I fell in love with the specification of it. It's just kind of funny because I guess it hasn't featured in any video for a month now or so, which is a bit crazy. So today, just a quick glimpse at the inside, just in case you'd forgotten. Right, no, enough of that, sorry. So today's video, bit of an update really. Just wanted to answer some of your questions because so much has been coming in recently. And obviously it's quite hard to keep on top of everything, especially all the sort of direct messages and stuff. Much easier just to sort of answer some of your questions out loud on camera. So I'm not going to be full on documenting the drive because that will come in my next videos in a week or two, or a couple of weeks. What it's like taking this down to the Alps, where I'll probably have some skis in the back, if that all goes ahead, which is a little bit crazy. But that's what the FF's for, of course, 4-wheel drive. Yeah, just sort of running over some things, and I'm going to be, as I go, periodically, I guess, entertaining myself for the drive home by making some videos. First thing, everybody's asking me what phone do I use. Again, this comes up quite often. Well, I now have a Sony Z5 Compact, so I've actually had a Z1, then a Z3, now the Z5. Lovely phone, yeah, does absolutely everything I need, so it works very nicely for me, very happy with it. Slightly new sort of design on it, but that's what I use for absolutely everything. So all these pictures I'm posting, they tend to come off this, or if they don't come off this, they come off the Sony QX1, which is like the external lens attachment that you connect to your phone through Play Memories, which just works amazingly. Go check out some of the pictures from some of the sort of tours where I'm trying to take nice photos rather than just the sort of phone snaps, and you'll see those. So that works pretty well. We're going to be pretty much heading off in the FF shortly. I'll update a few more things as we go. I'll have a think while I'm driving and work out what everybody's been asking, but it's going to be a long drive, but I'm looking forward to it because I love driving this thing. So I'll catch you from the road. First update for you, and I've made it to Paris, as you can of course tell from the Eiffel Tower that's behind me. Parked the FF here for a couple of quick photos in front of the tower. In fact, when I was last in Paris, I came to this very spot with the 650S Spider and the M4. We parked right here and had a little bit of a meet-up, which was pretty chaotic, but it's cool to be back, this time of course with a different car, with the FF. It was back in April I was last here. It's pretty windy today, although that beats the rain of last night's drive coming up here. So I'm not going to complain too much because the sky is blue and everything is gorgeous. Now there's one more thing I wanted to show you right now, which is the new Car Throttle app. So I'm good friends with the guys at Car Throttle. And a lot of my friends have joined and signed up. But if you load the Car Throttle app, you are able now to follow me, Shmi150 of course, same name. You can see my profile, you can see my posts, my recent videos straight here in the Car Throttle app and get all sorts of notifications and things. You can go to my garage where it will load up my different cars and some information about them. So there's a lot to see in there, in the Car Throttle app. Recommend you give it a go. Follow Shmi150 and you can of course load up the newsfeed and get all sorts of car information and different things in there. So I like that a lot, that's cool. So check out the Car Throttle app. For me, this afternoon we're going to be setting off and heading over towards the Eurotunnel, of course, we'll just have a quick look around Paris while I'm here, maybe catch up with some folks before we catch this evening's train and get on the way back to London. But so far, all well. Pretty long drive, of course. It was about 7, maybe 8 hours on the road last night to get up to Paris. But all went to plan, so who am I to complain? The next little update then, we're on the Eurotunnel train crossing over to England. Of course, it's about a half-an-hour journey. It's been pretty uneventful. Well, I say that. The journey out to Paris was very uneventful, but the weather on the motorway has been atrocious. I'm still wet because I had to stop and fill up at a petrol station, standing outside. The wind was just blowing the rain almost vertically, horizontally, straight at us. So that wasn't very much fun. I've had word that my 675 LT is now ready to come back to London, so that's cool, back in England. So the LT's been up at McLaren Manchester since I did my meeting there a week or two ago, the final stop of the tour celebrating the launch of SO Synergy Fuel. So the McLaren's been up at the dealership, just having a check over, a once over, making sure it's all immaculate because that car's so special. I'm being sort of highly protective of it and making sure all is well. So the LT is going to be trucked back down to me in London. Tonight we're going to get back with the FF back to my garage where it will be with the GT4. First time the FF and GT4 will be together for about 6 weeks' time. So that's all a little bit crazy. But yeah, it's a pretty uneventful train, and then hopefully a dry drive into London, but I somehow doubt that. Then I've got a couple more things that I'm thinking about to run over when I do get back. Basically, yeah, everything's going pretty well. Looking forward to sharing my next drive with this car, and also, while I've been doing this drive, I've planned my next trip away tomorrow morning. Is it tomorrow morning? Not sure when I'll have uploaded this video, so it's probably already happened. Yeah, or maybe I've just got there. I'm heading to Hungary, to Budapest, where I'm going to be catching up with my friend Josh Cartoon. Josh, who of course I've driven Gumball with a couple of times, and Team Wolfpack. So I'm looking forward to catching up with Josh in Hungary. And we've got something pretty special lined up, and a really, really cool video. So I'm looking forward to sharing that probably next or the next one after this, at some point very soon. But yeah, a pretty safe, normal crossing for us over on the Eurotunnel. We'll get back to England, and I'll catch up with you when this is back home in my garage. And I am home. I've now done 4,000 miles on the FF since I got it just shy of 3 months ago, so it's had a pretty heavy innings, but what a car. For a trip like this, it's second to nothing. It's the luxury and refinement and comfort and quietness and smooth suspension you want for a long distance drive. It's got a front engine V12, GT car, and a Ferrari badge. I'm just absolutely blown away with it. You know, this car, for this kind of trip, is heaven. And I think in my spec it's not very shouty, so it's exactly what you want, and basically this has been perfect. However, we're now back in my garage. I've borrowed one of my neighbour's spaces. This isn't actually my space. But for the fun of it, Xiaomi is meeting Shizmi again. They haven't seen each other for 6 weeks since they were last together in Monaco, which is pretty crazy. When all 3 cars were down there. It just feels like that was such a long time ago now. But it's fun to have these two back. I'll have the McLaren back in a couple of days as well, and then I'll have all 3 here, which will be crazy. Yeah, just a quick reference if you haven't already got it. This has become nicknamed Xiaomi because of the number plate, and this has become nicknamed Shizmi because of the number plate. Shmi 15, 10, 150, get it? Yeah, you get it, sorry. Getting repetitive. Yes, so I'm home now. I'm going to unload my bags, put the car back in my proper spot for it. And yeah, looking forward to the next travels. It's really, really dirty. It hasn't been cleaned for, probably 6 weeks, to be honest. No, more than 6 weeks, because it was last cleaned before I brought the others home. So I would guess that car has not been cleaned for 8 weeks. So it's in desperate need of some love and care. So we'll look after that. While I'm here, obviously I revealed this the other day, and there have been loads and loads of comments about what I've done to it, because it has these Martini stripes and it has an IP exhaust on it. Now, a lot of people don't like it or are telling me that Martini doesn't work on anything other than a white car. Now, that is technically true. The Martini livery should be on white. Now, you probably know already, my cars are hashtag Blue Crew. And because this is Blue Crew, I wanted to keep the car blue and do something a little bit different, and it works for me, and I absolutely love it, and I'm very, very happy with the finished sort of look of this car with the Martini stripes on the blue. So, you know, it doesn't really matter too much if other people don't like it, because it's what I want, and that's why I did it. Exhaust sounds absolutely awesome. Now that I've put like 50 miles on this car with the new exhaust system, it sounds the nuts. I'll do some more videos with it in due course, but you can tell it's bedding in and just getting better and better and better. So that is very awesome. I'm looking forward to driving it, although not tonight, because I'm going to have to leave it here and go and sort out other things before I have my next flight to catch tomorrow morning. It's obviously quite late in the evening. A couple of things though that have just generally new things to show you upstairs, so I'm actually going to run through a couple of things when I get up. For the minute, I'm going to take my stuff upstairs, get everything sorted, park the car in the proper space, and sort my life out, and then I'll catch up with you from upstairs. Now that I'm upstairs, a couple of things to run through. The first is, given that you know I'm barely at home, for the last couple of months I've been on the road all the time, I've had a lot of people asking what am I using to edit my videos, because all of this stuff, especially some of these longer videos, take an awfully long time to get sorted out. So for the last couple of years, I've been using a Sony Vaio Pro laptop that I bought. I absolutely love the thing. It's tiny, it weighs nothing, but unfortunately it's not the most powerful in the world. It has a good 512 gig SSD, but basically for power crunching all of this stuff, I needed something a little bit more major, might enable me to move on to 60 FPS videos in the future, maybe even more 4K stuff. So I have bought myself a new Dell XPS 15, which I have spec'd out to the nines. It is fairly ludicrous, to be honest. It has a 1GB SSD, sort of full power i7 processor, a 4K touchscreen, which is really cool. So it looks awesome, nice finish to it. It doesn't even weigh that much either. It's quite a light and thin laptop. So that's what I do all my editing on with Adobe Premiere Pro. And basically, that thing, I can do everything from on the road. I need an SD slot, I need hard drives, because obviously I have lots of external data, so I have a couple of drives I carry around with me. But this has a beautiful screen, battery lasts well, I have a car charger for it. It's perfect. Now, another piece of equipment I've added recently is a new action cam. So I did have these two before. One sort of fairly small camera and one slightly larger 4K camera, the X1000 and the AS100, and I have added to this an AZ1, which is absolutely tiny. This is like mini action cam, so I can just carry it everywhere with me basically, with a suction mount that you can fold up and becomes nothing, and a tripod holder too. So that will make some of these car videos, well, I'll just be able to get more angles and stuff by having more cameras. Interesting point, by the way. While I'm filming this, you can probably hear me coming out of the left speaker if you're watching on or listening through headphones. And the reason for that is because basically I'm holding the camera off to the right. And I get a lot of people asking me why this happens, and now I'm over to the right. And it's just down to how I hold the camera. So I do my best to do what I'm doing right now and stand right behind it so the voice is in the middle. But sometimes it's quite hard. Anyway, there we go. There are the three action cams I'm using, in addition to a couple of handy cams. Now, another thing are these absolutely lovely driving gloves from Outlier Man. I'm going to pop their link down below, the Outlier Man, and naturally I went for blue. And I think they are very, very nice leather driving gloves, and they also come in this very nice packet too, which is rather cool. So these are some pretty nice gloves right here. I haven't worn them yet, as you can see. They've just arrived in the post, so I'm looking forward to that. Now, the final thing actually is this. The Tag Heuer connected watch. Now, I wasn't necessarily going to show this, but a lot of people, when I posted a picture on my Tim Burton Facebook page, asked me about it. So I thought I would just quickly show you, and obviously it's very hard for me to film anything while I'm holding the video camera. You can see that it detects when you point up to the screen, and it's basically, and then goes off, but it's still on. You can still see it all the time, which is different to most smartwatches. It's quite expensive as a smartwatch goes, but it's made out of titanium and it's got the Tag branding, and you can change the backgrounds, and it's just awesome. And in my first few days wearing it, I'm loving it a lot. So that is another new thing I've basically bought myself as a bit of a toy recently, the new Tag connected watch. I would show you more, but I'm holding the video camera with my right hand, so I can't do anything. So yeah, some new toys that I basically help get all my stuff done on the road with. And this is actually quite cool, because when you're driving, notifications can pop up on it, which is all part of the fun, so you don't have to play with a phone, which is obviously illegal when you're driving. And then action cams and the Outlier Man gloves. So that's pretty much what's going on with me at the moment. It's been a long day, of course, a long 2 days getting myself back home, and the adventures don't end here, because I'm flying off to Budapest. And that's going to be brilliant too, so stay tuned for that video. I can't wait. This is going to be amazing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed some sort of little quick updates. Let me know, as always, what else you'd like to know, and I'm sure I'll be back to you with another Q&A update kind of video in not too long. Have a very Merry Christmas, and I'll catch up with you soon. Cheers! Awesome! So it's the mid-engine Cayman layout with the 911 engine. Michelin Sport Cup 2.